when you start making paired decreases with alternatively mounted stitches, then we have to think them through quite carefully. So I want a right slanting decrease, putting this pink stitch on top of that yellow stitch, and normally that would be a knit two together, but because we have alternatively mounted stitches, what I'm going to do is to turn both those front layer stitches around, let the far layer stitch off the needle and pop it back, and now I can knit those two front layer stitches together, bring my yarns forward, and I now need to slip purl those two. So I'm going to turn this stitch, so slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, return them to the left needle, and now I can purl them. And so that's sloping to the right on the front, and it's sloping to the left on the back if I was stood looking at the other side. So they're both sloped in that direction. So that's how to make the decrease when the fabric is working flat using alternative rotation purling. So the other side here, I'm going to make a left slanting decrease, and normally with conventionally mounted stitches, to make a left slanting decrease we do a slip knit, but because our stitches are facing in a different direction, I'm just going to slip those two without turning them, take the far stitch off the needle, and now I can knit those two together, and I want those in pink. Bring my yarns forward, and here I'm able to do a straightforward purl two together, and again keep my angle of slope corresponding, so they're both sloping that way. If you're working in the round with alternatively mounted stitches on the purl layer, then we have to think them through a different way. So these are normally mounted knits, and I want to make a knit two together or a right slanting decrease on the front layer. So I can go through the two front layer stitches, or I can just lift them off like this, release that back layer stitch and rescue it, and now do a conventional knit two together on the front. And now I need a slip purl on the back, but because the stitches are facing the other way, all I need to do is go into them like so, which turns them and makes the angle correct, and it doesn't twist the underneath stitch. So the knit two together and purl two together when you've got alternatively mounted purls. Really, you just have to think about your particular situation. Don't think ahead, just look at the decrease as you make it. So here I want a left slanting decrease, and I'm going to slip as if to knit. So this is an ordinary slip knit at the front, but I should have moved my yarn back. So there's my. Now to tackle the left sloping decrease on the other side, I need to turn this stitch around and turn this stitch around, and now I can just purl those two together like that, and there's our slope and no twisted stitches.